The Real World was founded 7 years ago on the principle of creating a avenue to deliver authenticated luxury consignment to everybody. In different communities across the country, across the world, you would have like one cool consignment shop maybe. But it's very localized. You maybe had like 10 people come in a day, and you had a hard time as a consignor selling, and a hard time as a buyer finding things in your size and a style you liked. So by aggregating it all online and just merging all these collections in different locales across the country, we were able to curate really a brand that's very unique. So from going from 100 designers and simply women's ready-to-wear to now over 500 designers and artists carrying women's, men's, sneakers, kids wear, jewelry, watches, home furnishings, and fine art as well. It's really it's disrupting the secondary industry. There's always been art on the secondary market, selling at Christie's and Sotheby's. There's always been estate jewelry, but people used to think of kind of secondhand clothing or consignment as like thrifting, right? Or like vintage, where it was okay for some things, but it wasn't okay like for high society or for like, at a chic level. Which the millennial group and our Gen X group, who is our largest growing cohort, they don't remember a time before eBay. They don't remember a time before Etsy, and I think that's like something that has made consignment so natural for them, where it's just part of your shopping cycle. You shop high, you shop low, you shop thrift, you shop consignment, handmade, man-made, designer and independent to create like unique looks. No one dresses head to toe Chanel anymore, right? Like if she does, she's way up there on La Brise. But no, it's all about mixing the new designers with established, French with Japanese with American, and so that's what the Real Real tries to bring. In our store in New York, it's a curated assortment of maybe 8,000 items. On the website, we have hundreds and hundreds of thousands. So really, while every SKU is unique and different, we have something for everyone. We have that Gucci loafer or that Giuseppe pump in everyone's size and everyone's color for everyone. In a world of uncertainty, we want to offer a place of trust and transparency, which I think, transparency and authenticity are huge keywords in 2018 and buzzwords at whatever business you're in, but I like to say, like, it's been in our DNA for the past 7 years and will always be.
Happy Election Day, everyone. As you can see, I voted. Busy day, crazy day. Catalina was a little under the weather, so she stayed home. My aunt is still here. My husband voted in the morning. I was able to vote just a little bit ago, and now we're on our way to Lincoln Center because Catalina will be starting at the School of American Ballet in October. So today is orientation. We're super excited. So yeah, let's go.
Incumbent. It started with petitioning and getting enough signatures to get on the ballot. 1,000 were required. We got a little more than 5,000. And look at what we've built. A complete and utter coalition of people from every neighborhood in the district. That's right.
Hey guys, so first let me apologize for the background noise. My windows are open. It's still pretty warm here in New York City and there's some truck outside or something. I don't know. I wanted to take a moment because since most of you don't follow me on Instagram, there I've been kind of vocal. I've posted a few times about a dear friend of mine who passed away this past weekend. Her name was Crisaida Rodriguez. She was a fashion blogger. She owned her own little shop, her clothing store, an online clothing store. She was amazing. She was incredible. She was so supportive, so inspirational. I met her in, I think, 2014 at New York Fashion Week. It was my very first fashion week and I was invited to go to Desigual to see their show. And of course I'd known about her because she was big, especially in the Latina blogger community, the Latina Instagram New York City community. She was huge. So I saw her and she came up to me and she introduced herself to me. And she was like so excited and she's like, oh, it's so nice to meet you. I follow you on Instagram. Let's make sure that we follow each other. Here's here's my information. And I'm just like, me? This was the very beginning of my, content creator career, like the very beginning. I had very little followers. And so to me, it was just incredible that this person with such a large following, who was fabulous and amazing and created such good content, would treat me that way. It's very sad to say, but in this industry, it's really hard to be seen as a person. You are your stats, basically. And so sometimes people will meet you, and what they'll see is, do you have a large following? Is this like a reciprocal relationship? Like, what am I gonna get out of you? Is it worth me talking to you? That's the sad reality of it, is that you go to these press events, these blogger events, and sometimes people aren't that friendly, people aren't that genuine, and again, you're just a number to them. And if your number is not a high enough number, then they don't want to waste their time with you. And Crisaida, she saw me as a person. She didn't see me for the amount of followers I had. She just saw me as someone else who's trying to thrive in this little, world, this strange little, influencer, blogger, content creator, whatever you want to call it, world. Someone who was driven, someone who was working really hard on their content. And she recognized that, and she was just so genuinely sweet and nice and supportive. And anyone who's ever known her will tell you the same thing. She would tell you, go do it, go after your dreams. She was so inspirational. And Daniela, my friend from Miami, she came up with this idea and reached out to a few of us. I actually was looped in by Erica Batista, who's another amazing blogger. I will link to both of them below. But she created this campaign that's called #YouInspireUs Crisaida. And what we were supposed to do was to recreate a look that she inspired. Because she's so inspirational to us, we were going to recreate a look that was inspired by her, by one of her posts, previous looks. So we did that, and it took off, and I'm so thankful that people participated, and people are still sharing that hashtag. Even if you didn't, come up with an outfit. Like I told them, I was like, oof, I don't know about recreating a look right now. I'm not really doing any outfit of the days right now, because you guys know my post-baby body struggle. But I did recreate something. But she saw it, and she was so sweet. She thanked us all, and it's been rough, and I'm so proud of her for sharing her life with us at every stage, because a lot of the complaints that we get as influencers is that we only show the positive side, we only show the good stuff, we only show when we're in the fabulous outfits and at the fabulous places, but we don't show the real life struggle enough or at all. And she did that. We saw her in beautiful outfits, but then we also saw her when she was at the hospital getting an IV, getting her stomach drained, losing her hair. She had the most beautiful hair, which was so sad. I mean, it's so sad for many reasons. She just turned 40 a couple of weeks ago. She was really into fitness. I remember I would really follow her because I loved watching her fitness stuff. She just beautiful body. She loved going to the gym, and it's just sad that because of this cancer that she has, she's just cancer is horrible. Cancer is horrible, and it doesn't care your age or if you took care of yourself, if you were healthy or not, or who you have and who you're leaving behind. And it was hard for me to watch her go through that, as it was for many of us, but especially towards the end. My mom has anal cancer right now, and actually today is the last day of her treatment. And I would tell my mom, you need to be thankful because we caught yours early. It's stage 2, and it could be much worse. And I would always think to Crisaida, because she had stage 4 stomach cancer, and it just anyway, I want to talk about the end. I want to talk about how she lived. She was so inspirational, so supportive, so just an amazing, beautiful person. And even in her last moments, because a few days before she passed, she did an Instagram live, and if you go on Instagram, you'll see it, because some people recorded it and reposted it, but you could tell that she was, you know, tired and sick and probably medicated, because, you know, you go through a lot of pain. And even in her last moments, she went on and she was telling people to do it. Whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that your dreams are, just go and do it, and don't waste any time. Don't waste another day, don't waste another hour. Go after your dreams, because you don't know what God has planned for you. You don't know you just don't know. So go after your dreams. And that's who she was. That's who she always was that person, encouraging you. Many of us have had moments where we thought about, you know, getting a traditional job. You know, this is too hard, I can't balance. And she was always there saying, you can do it. If this is what you want to do, do it. Don't stop, go harder. And so that's how I'll always remember her. So glad that I went to her funeral to say goodbye, to pay my respects. And it was really sad. It was so sad. You know, I once heard someone say that when you lose your husband, you're a widow. When you lose your parents, you're an orphan. But there's no word for when you lose a child, because it is so against nature. It should not happen, and that's why there's no name for it, because there shouldn't be a name for it, because it shouldn't happen. And my heart just goes out to her mom and her family and all her friends and everyone who was there for her. I was able to see Jerry, who's a wonderful photographer, who was with her for so much of it, such a great friend to her. And I never met her personally, but we know each other through Instagram. Or I know her. Like, I mean, when I say we know each other, I mean like people from the New York City area. We all follow each other, and we don't sometimes know a person, but we know of them because we see them on our feed so much. And so I know that she was an amazing friend to her, that she was there for her, and I'm so glad that I was able to just give her a hug and just say thank you to her. And I sent her a message a couple of days ago saying, you know, that thank you for being there for her, for those of us who couldn't be there physically for her, for being there for her because she wanted to be there for her as a good friend. But then thank you from us who could not be physically as supportive and there, present. And I told her to take care of herself, and I'm really glad that I had that moment, because it's hard for the people, the caregivers. It's hard too. And yeah, I just feel I feel terrible for her friends, her family, her supporters, her fans. We're all feeling this. And I'm so glad that the media has picked it up, especially in the tri-state area. She used to do a lot of like Spanish programs, like Acceso Total and things like that, which is like our Good Morning America in Spanish. So she has a lot of people who have known her and loved her from afar and been fans of hers, and I'm just glad that she's being recognized, because she deserves it. And we will keep her memory alive. We will keep her name alive. And yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys, because she was an amazing soul, and I'm gonna really, really miss her. I'm gonna miss seeing her at events and, you know, sending that one-off DM here and there. But yeah, just, guys, live your lives to the fullest every day. Every day.